God has called you because it is time for you to be a bridge for somebody else to cross over. The same way somebody was a bridge for you to get over. You didn't just come on your own. Somebody became a bridge for you. Somebody laid down their life for you, y'all. Somebody laid down their life for you now. I'm telling you. Somebody gave up their way of doing things for you. Somebody gave up some meals for you. Somebody made some serious sacrifices for you. And they became a bridge in order for you to cross over. Now, I know you done heard that Jesus is a bridge over troubled waters. He is. But guess what? You are too. When Christ lives in you, the hope of glory, you become Christ in the earth. You do the will of God in the earth. You become the mouthpiece of God in the earth. You become the hands, the feet, and the mind of God in the earth. You do. You become a bridge for somebody else to cross over. So you would like to put it on Christ, right? To say, well, Jesus is a bridge over troubled waters for me. Yeah, but you the bridge. You stretch out. Jesus stretched out for us. Now we ought to be stretching out for each other. Amen. Huh? Now we ought to be stretching out for each other. Amen. We ought to be laying down for one another when we see ourselves overtaken in a fault, and when we hear that the Lord has called us. Yeah. When we hear that the Lord has called us, people know when the Lord don't call them. Now, only play with them. You know when the Lord don't call them. All of a sudden, you want to change your life. Places you used to go, you lose a desire. Things just don't feel the same no more. Or none of that. You got to make yourself try to fit in, all that kind of stuff. You done been called out that mess to be a bridge. That's all that is. God done called you out of that for you to do what you need to do for him now so that some other people can come across. But you see people steady fight it. Why? Because them prophets. Because them prophets in the ear and them prophets in their head. That be the reason why the struggle goes on and they cannot do what it is that God wants them to do. Them two prophets right there. In their head, they say it to themselves, God, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, man. I'm telling you, it's hard. It's real hard, man. Trying to live this thing, man. That's that prophet in the head saying, it's hard, man. I'm telling you, what I'm saying? I'm lonely. I'm so tired of being alone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would love to have somebody to talk to too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't pass by and see somebody done got a ring, or what have you. Somebody on a knee, proposing to somebody. You don't pass by, seen it. Seen some of your little buddies, or what have you. They talking about who they with, or however. And so now this prophet in your head this prophet in your head got you all messed up. See, it's got you tripping real bad. So now you about to just really walk away from being a bridge when somebody in their car finna pull up to the bridge. Somebody needs you to stretch out so they can get over. But you done allowed yourself to become so caught up in your emotions and what it is that you thinking, and what it is that you see, or what the enemy done made you think you were missing. You literally he done stepped in your garden, see. That's what he did. He stepped in your garden because when you're called out of darkness, you're called into the garden. Yeah, you got entryway back into the garden. Christ gave us entryway back into the garden. Even though the garden was with flaming swords, he gave us entryway back in through Christ. So you've been called out and placed in a garden. When he brings you out of darkness, he puts you into his marvelous light, which is the garden state of life, which means that you have everything that you need is right there supplied for you. It just may be the timing of when it's going to happen, but it is there for your disposal and it will get to you. So now the enemy has come in your garden and talking trash to you in your garden. Like the song, your secret garden. He done got in your garden. Talking trash to you about what you making you think you missing something. That's what he did to them. He made them feel like they were being robbed in their own place. Really? How are you going to make me feel like I'm being robbed in my own house? This is my house, man. This is my house. But when you don't connect to it, and you just live there, you don't know it's yours. So he made them feel like they were being deprived in their own house. And since they felt like they were being deprived in their own house, they literally took to what this false prophet said and readjusted things that literally got them in trouble, where they were consumed now by the sword. Literally put out. So now when there would be things that would come forth from their womb, because now they were already told to be fruitful and multiply. Get in there, feed. I am. Watch it. They were literally told to be fruitful and multiply. In the current state that they were in, they were not told to be fruitful and multiply after they got put out. They were told to be fruitful and multiply in the righteous state. Right? So that automatically meant that God was going to multiply them. So that automatically meant that they was going to have to be a bridge. Because Cain and Abel was coming anyway. He said, be fruitful and multiply. So that meant that seed was going to come forth out of their loins anyway. He didn't wait until they got kicked out to say, now I want y'all to go and be fruitful and multiply. No, he told them from that state. So what the whole tactic of the enemy is to literally keep us from the blessing inside of the garden and put us out. Literally get us put out as to where we still house the seed, but the seed is now cursed. That false prophet. See, that false prophet, when that false prophet won't let you see just how blessed you really are in your own house. Got you looking for something else in your own house. Got you looking for something else in your own house. You got a beautiful wife, but you're looking for something else. Really? That's what it do. It won't let you see the value of what you have in your own house. They didn't see the value of what they had in their own house. So because of that void, that little void right there, y'all better kill this void. May the Lord help us to kill that void. Because of that little void right there, the enemy, Lucifer, was able to manifest himself by way of a serpent and get in her ear and cause some trouble. God help us, please. God help us. God help us, please. God help us. I'm serious, y'all. It's some prophets, the prophet in your head and the prophets in your ear. You got to be careful what's going on in your head and what's going on in your ear. And you got to know that if you've been called out to live a righteous life, you are somebody's bridge. You are somebody's bridge. Somebody's bridge. Somebody is depending on you. And the choices you make, whether righteous or wrong, is going to affect other people's lives. Period. It's going to affect them. It's no such thing except for the punishment is the only thing that you're going to serve by yourself. I'm going to serve. the punishment by myself. But the effects of the wrong I did will affect all of those who it was designed that I be a bridge. That I be a bridge for. God called me. I was 22 years old. And 22 is young. For real, real. It is. 22 is a very young age to start living a life for God. But I knew that he was calling. I knew it. Because I was tired. I was tired. Just really. I didn't know what I was tired of. I just knew I was tired, you know. And I didn't even know what to look for in life. That's just being honest. I didn't have this vivid picture. And you may not have a vivid picture, is what I'm saying. It's okay. I didn't have this vivid picture that, oh my God, you know, I'm tired and I want to get saved and I want to live in a big old house and I want to have a whole bunch of money or whatever the case. I didn't have that vivid picture. I didn't. I really didn't even know what I was tired of. I just knew I was tired. That's all I knew. I didn't even understand the fact of being tired until I got in an atmosphere where the love of God was. And when I hit that atmosphere, immediately it struck me. This is it. This is it. This is a much better feeling than what I have been feeling. This is a much better peace. Or this is a peace. Something is completely different than what I have been feeling and what I've been dealing with. It was that. And I didn't understand it. I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about God no more than what I had heard as a little girl. That Jesus was the Son of God, but I ain't know nothing about him. Not one thing. I didn't. I just know what I heard at Nazareth when I went. And most of the time when I went in there shucking and jiving. And then I went to Sunbeam with Miss Alice them, and you never could really get nothing out of that because Miss Gillamina them, grandmama, and Miss Foster was so mean. You know what I'm saying? So they scared you to have the deaf in there, so you ain't hearing nothing. You just waiting on that popsicle that they gonna give you. When y'all leave, you getting out of there. So I ain't have no details of anything about God, about what it was I was getting into. I didn't know the requirements of God. I didn't. I knew about the 10 Commandments. I had heard them, but I was breaking all 10, brother. So I didn't know, about any of this. But I knew he was calling. I knew it. I knew it. Because it was different. It was different. It was different. And it was, I couldn't do it like I used to do it no more. I just couldn't no more. Couldn't do it like I used to. And I was like, I don't know. I can't explain it. Because it wasn't a world that I had ever visited. It wasn't a world I had heard or studied about. So I couldn't explain it, but I knew that it was different. And that's why it says, in the day that you hear the Lord calling, that day that you know that this is when my life is supposed to change, man. I'm not supposed to do this anymore. This ain't me no more. This ain't it. When you know that and you get that unction, that's that calling, that's that time when God is ready to use you as a bridge. God is ready to put you in position to help somebody else cross over. And God forbid that you not answer it,